everybody, and welcome to Jewell Family Farm. Today I'm going to be making a baked chicken, so I hope you join us. Okay, so today I have a whole chicken. This is one of the chickens that we butchered this fall, and I'm going to bake it in the oven today. And I think I'm going to make it with put some vegetables in it at the end and let it bake up some. But what I want to do right now is I'm going to go up under the skin with my finger and just kind of run my finger up underneath the skin, because I'm going to stick some herbs and some spices and some butter up in there. So I'm going to loosen the skin up around it. I'm not going to take it off right here where it's attached to this bone. I'm just going to go on each side like that. Alright, I'm going to set that there. Let me wash my hands. Okay, so I'm going to mix up my spices that I'm going to use here. So one of the things I would like to put up inside of there is I want some rosemary. So I'm going to use about a half of a teaspoon of rosemary. And I'm going to use a little bit of thyme. About a half a teaspoon. I'm probably going to use a half a teaspoon just about everything. I'm going to put a little parsley in there. I'm just going to finish that out because it's empty. That's probably about a half a teaspoon. Some basil. You can mix any spices that you like. Or if you don't like one of these, you can take it out. I'm going to put a little bit of sage in there. And you can put as much or as little of whatever spices you have. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to put some garlic. You can stick a couple of regular garlics up in there if you want to. I'm just going to use this here granulated dried garlic, about half a teaspoon. Some onion, minced onion. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of that in there. I think I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of that in there. And put a little black pepper. About a half a teaspoon. And the salt, what I'm going to do with the salt, I'm going to salt the chicken. I'm just going to salt it real good inside. All over the top. And I'm going to take my little spoon that I have here, and you can use a, I can't think of what the name of it is that you can, use to chop up your spices and stuff. I can't think of what the name of it is. And just crush them up a little bit so they're not so huge. You can hear it crunching down in there. And just mix it up really good. All right, I'm going to set that to the side for a second. I'm going to get some butter. I'm going to stick this butter right up underneath the skin. Now don't touch your stuff. If you touch the chicken, don't touch this, okay, until you wash your hands. Because you'll cross-contaminate, and that's not a good thing. And just kind of mash it around in there. All right, let me wash my hands. Butter out of the way. All right. then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these spices and I'm going to put a few in here. I'm going to put a few up in here with this butter. Now you can mix the butter in here, in this with the spices if you want to, and then put it up under there. Either way you want to do it. Smells good already. Just run it around all in there, all over the place. You can put some on the outside too if you want. A little bit of butter from your hands. I'm just going to dump the rest of it down in here. And that's all I'm going to do to that chicken. Put it in my roasting pan. Now, I like the liver. I saved the livers for when we butchered, and I'm going to put those in here on the side just because I want the broth. You don't have to use that if you don't like that. Now to this, I'm going to add a pin feather. Okay, to this, I'm going to add some bouillon. I'm just going to put it down on the side because I want the broth, because I'm going to use the broth for something else like chicken and dumplings, or I might use it for chicken vegetable soup, or you know, something like that. So I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of broth in there, bouillon. You can also use the little squares, so you'd probably put about, I would say 3 or 4 little squares in there. We're just going to add some water to it. I'm going to put probably about 3 cups of water in there. Now if you want to also, let me get a little bit more butter here. You can just put some butter on the top if you want. It's up to you. Alright, now we're going to put the lid on it. We're going to put it in the oven on 350. And we're going to bake it for several hours. Now if your lid don't fit really good, because these legs will, once it starts cooking, your lid will fit down on it just fine. Alright, I'm going to stick this in the oven. I'm going to let it cook for probably an hour, and then I'm going to check it and see if it needs to cook any longer. But you want it to cook for quite a while if you want your meat to be nice and tender. Alright, we'll be back. Okay, so I've had this in the oven for about an hour and 20 minutes. And I'm just going to peel me some potatoes and some carrots to put in there and let them just cook in there with that chicken for the last few minutes. That's all the herbs that's up underneath the skin here. So I'm just going to peel all these. I've got me 4 potatoes here. I'm probably going to cut this one in half, but I'm going to peel me some carrots and onions, and I'm going to lay them all in there. Okay, so I'll be back when I finish peeling everything. Okay, so I peeled my potatoes. Got these carrots just about peeled. Off the tops and the bottoms of the carrots. Alright, I'm going to wash all my vegetables off, and then we'll cut them up and put them in the in with the chicken. Okay. This is a kind of a big potato, so I'm just going to cut it in half. I'm just going to leave them whole and just stick them down in here with this chicken. This one I'm not going to cut because it's pretty small. This one either. I want my chicken to cook a little bit longer, get good and done, because it needs to cook a little bit longer. But I don't want my vegetables to turn to mush. I love carrots. Cooked carrots. It's one of my favorite things to eat. I want to put a lot of those in there. You can cut these up smaller too if you want to. And I'm just going to quarter my onion. Put one up there. Just spread it around a little bit. And that's all I'm going to do. Well, I am going to salt it a little bit. But because it's got the broth already in there from the bouillon, you don't want to put too much salt, but you do need a little bit of salt on these potatoes. All right, I'm going to stick the lid back on it. And I'm going to put it back in the oven, probably for about 30 minutes, and then we'll see what it looks like after that. And see if our vegetables are tender and make sure that the meat's good and done. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so here it is out of the oven. All the vegetables are nice and tender. Okay, so I'm going to try to lift it up and put it over here on this plate. Wish me luck. Oops. All right. Well, that's good. That was successful, except for my carrot falling out. I'm just going to lay my vegetables around this here chicken. Now you can make a little bit of gravy out of this chicken broth. You want it to go on your chicken. You can also, instead of putting your potatoes in here, you can make some mashed potatoes in another pot. I just kind of wanted to do a one pot thing tonight. Now you have all your bits here, like your neck and your liver. Some of you are going to be saying, oh yeah, put that on there. And others are going to say, ooh, gross. But I like it, so I'm putting it on there. But you don't have to. All right, so you got all this nice broth down here. Do not throw it away. You can use it for different things. I'm going to use a little bit of it. I think I'm going to make a little bit of gravy out of it to put on top of our chicken and our vegetables tonight. But like I was saying, you can make another pot of mashed potatoes and then make a little bit of gravy, you know, for your mashed potatoes if you want to. But some of this will be made for gravy, and then some of it I'm going to make a little bit of soup out of the leftover vegetables and the leftover chicken. Some chicken vegetable soup is what I'm trying to say. All right, so there it is. Let me give you a close-up look at it. That's just the herbs that's under the skin. It just makes it look a little funny, but it'll taste really good. So that's it. That's dinner tonight. So I hope you enjoyed this, and like and subscribe. Take care. Count your blessings, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye.